I was wrong, and I need to admit it, and it has to change today. All my old airbrush priming videos were all wrong. Like, wrong tool, wrong airbrush, wrong air pressure, and even wrong primer thinning. Acrylic paints have changed so much in the past decade. Before, it's harder to airbrush acrylic paints. You need a retarder, you need to thin it well, you need the proper tools, the proper air pressure. But these days, acrylic paints, acrylic primers have totally improved. Welcome to the very first Tutorial Tuesday video. Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to our studio. This channel is supported by all these awesome brands. Also, special thanks to The Army Painter for making this video possible. By the way, do check out my discount codes and affiliate links down below. It won't cost you extra and it will help the channel a lot. Acrylic primers in particular have become easier to clean, easier to airbrush, and more durable. First, we talk about the proper tool and airbrush for priming and varnishing. I used to use my good airbrushes, my Infinities, and now even have Takumi from Spray Gunner. Until I bought my Kolani airbrush, Harder and Steenbeck, and priming became easier. Now I have the Gallery Swallowtail, which is similar to Kolani, but it's a lot cheaper. To keep it simple, the Infinities, Takumis, those are standard type airbrushes. And then the Kolani and the Gallery Swallowtail are trigger types. Now, what's the difference between a 0.4 or 0.5 standard airbrush and a 0.4 or 0.5 trigger type airbrush? Well, the main difference is that the chamber of the trigger type airbrushes are fatter, they're bigger, they're easier to clean, and they're perfect for primers and varnishes. Not only the chambers, but you could see in the video right now that the standard type has smaller needles, they're like finer needles, thinner needles, and the trigger type airbrushes, the needles, even if you have the same needle size, are fatter. Most especially the nozzles. The nozzles are fatter with the trigger types, and of course with the standard type airbrushes, the nozzles are finer and very small. You see, you want the fatter chamber, fatter needle, and fatter nozzle of trigger types for priming and varnishing. Primers and acrylic varnishes are stickier. They're thicker than usual acrylic paints. But you don't want to over-thin acrylic primers and acrylic varnishes. Trigger type airbrushes are easier to clean and they're more comfortable when using them for long hours. Simply put, I highly recommend you get a Harder & Steenbeck Kolani airbrush if you have the budget for it, or a Gallery Swallowtail airbrush for your priming and varnishing needs. Now we talk about the air pressure when airbrushing primers. There's a sweet spot. You would want higher air pressure when you're priming and varnishing. If you plan to buy an air compressor, I highly recommend any compressor with a dedicated air tank. When airbrushing details and of course base colors and you're using a standard type airbrush, you could get away with 10 psi for more control up to around 25 psi. However, when you're priming and varnishing, you may want to increase the pressure of your air compressor, like around 30 to 35 psi. The higher pressure will help with the atomization of the primers and varnishes, since, again, you don't want to thin them into paint consistency. Although, as mentioned earlier in the intro, primers and varnishes that were formulated for airbrush shoes are easier to airbrush these days. The primers and varnishes have a more forgiving consistency and you don't really have to thin them as much. If you're getting value out of this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Now we talk about acrylic primers, the thinning of acrylic primers, and varnishes. Like I said in the intro, I was wrong, like with my older airbrushing or airbrush priming videos. Because I used to thin primers and varnishes 1:1 with thinner. Wrong doesn't mean it won't work, because it worked for me for a while, like for so many years. But these days, again, the formulation of the newer primers and varnishes are better and easier for airbrush use. Also, it works because I use my thinning sauce, which is a mixture of thinner airbrush thinner and airbrush flow improver. So I'm not using water for primers and varnishes. You shouldn't use water to thin down primers or varnishes. Even Filipino water, which is as good as Spanish water, is not good for thinning primers and varnishes. Now let's talk about the basic science of acrylic primers. Acrylic paints and primers and varnishes have improved so much from like the past decade. The last 5 years, you'll see so much improvement with the formulation. The quality of the resin, it's easier now to airbrush, and of course the saturation and all those properties are just simply better today than a decade ago. But here is where I'm wrong, especially in terms of the thinning of primers and varnishes. You shouldn't use water when thinning your acrylic paints and varnishes and primers when using the airbrush. Thinning with water breaks down the paints. Thinning more than 20 or 25% of water with your acrylic paints and primers will weaken the paints. The water, Filipino water or Spanish water, whatever you like, will break down the paints like it will separate the pigments and the binder if you use too much water. So actually my old videos, thinning videos of airbrush priming are fine because I use thinner and flow improver and I never use water to thin down my primers and varnishes. So with a higher air pressure and you only thin them around 20% with thinner, you can get away with airbrushing in that manner and you'll get a more durable finish. So thinning acrylic primers and varnishes with just around 20 to 25% thinner will give you a better finish. It will give you a stronger, more durable finish, which is perfect for miniature, especially tabletop painting. Now, before my final thoughts, a huge thanks to all my patrons at Patreon, Hajime Model Studio, and of course, The Army Painter for making this video possible. Now for my final thoughts. So having the perfect tool or the perfect airbrush for the job for priming and varnishing, and then adjusting your air pressure, and of course not over thinning your primers and varnishes will give you the best results. Other than that, always apply primers and varnishes in multiple thin coats. That's it, Pansit. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, of course. Until next video, guys. Bye! If you like this video, do check out these other videos.